So I'm here at Coventry Golf Club. This is my first round for 6 months due to the COVID issue. I'm actually just playing on my own. I'm just going to play 9 holes if I get time. I've got my flask of coffee. It's a little bit cold, so I like to keep warm. I'm just going to have I've had a few swings warm up, but I've actually not hit any golf balls. I've not hit anything in the net, which is not ideal, but hey, that's reality. So I've got, it's a par 4 that I'm playing, a relatively long par 4. I'm just going to play these holes as I would do normally. If I hit the ball in trouble, I'm going to play it from trouble, just so that we can see the recovery shots. My expectations at the moment, I would say, are quite low, but one thing's for sure, I'm really going to enjoy getting out here playing again. So I love playing golf. I don't get to do it often enough, but today I find myself with some time to do it, so I'm going to make the most of it. So let's see how this journey pans out. So I'm just checking, making sure I've got everything. I've got my pitchfork repairer, I've got a ball marker in my pocket, I've got enough tees, I've got a few spare balls just in case it doesn't go to plan, but let's see what happens. So relatively straight away par 4, so nothing too daunting. Trees down the right, hazards down the left that you can't quite see from here. There's a bunker down the left, there's 2 bunkers right in the distance. I'm going to aim towards the right hand one, and let's just see what happens. So this is my first shot on the golf course for 6 months, so I hope you all feel a bit sorry for me. Not really. Let's just see what happens. Wind feels a little bit left to right. There's a flag over there that's not blowing, but the trees over here are blowing. Actually, it's moving right to left. Ignore that one. So just going to hit my driver down there. Let's see what happens. So feel pretty good, feel relaxed, and let's see where we go. So that one's gone down the left, shouldn't be in too much trouble. So let's go down there, find it, play it, and see how we get on. So I found my tee shot. I've just done a laser measurement and I've got 165 left to go. It's sitting all right actually. I've chosen a 6 iron, so I'm just going to hit this towards the green. Again, I haven't had an opportunity to make many practice swings today, so I feel a little bit rusty, but I'm sure as we progress that's going to feel better. For me now, there's a little bit more room to the right of the flag than there is to the left. However, it's still quite nice once you get over there. So there's 2 false bunkers at the front. They're at 145 and it's 165 up to the flag. So I'm just going to hit 6 iron up there. Not overly concerned whether it gets there or not, because I'm out here enjoying myself. So let's feel good. I don't feel I've got enough club, but anyway, let's see what happens. Well, that's come out great. It's gone with a little bit of draw. Forgot to allow for the wind. Missed the green to the left. There's a bunker down there, but it shouldn't be too bad. Let's go and find it and see what shot we've got to play next. So as I suspected, my ball's finished left of the green. I've got a little bunker to go over. The pin is cut quite close to the front. I've probably got about 5 strides to get between the fringe of the green and the flag. So what I'm going to do now, I've chosen my 58-degree wedge. I'm just going to pop this up in the air. Big thing is for these shots, I want the golf ball to land on the green. I don't want to land it short of the green. So if this finishes a little bit past the hole, I'm all right with that one. What I don't really want to be doing is bringing this bunker into play. So let's commit to the shot and let's see what happens. I'm just allowing a little bit of bounce from left to right, but let's see how we get on. It's been a while since I've played one of these shots. Okay, so that's come out great. 1-2 foot away from the hole. Let's see if we can knock it in for par. So this is where my golf ball finished. I'm going to mark it. There's a little bit of muck on there. Even though I'm playing on my own, I still want to knock these in. I'm not a big fan personally of leaving the flag in, but today I'm going to, a little bit for speed, but also just stops me holding the flag. So feel nice and relaxed, little pot put. That's gone in for easy 4 on the first hole for over 6 months. So let's go to the 11th hole now and see what happens on that one. So we're on the 11th hole now. There's a river that runs through this one. It's only about 80 to 90 yards to actually carry it. But the hole, if I zoom in now, the whole dogleg's a little bit from left to right. The wind, if I remember from the last hole, is going to blow from left to right too, which brings the trouble into play over on the right hand side there. So what I want to do is allow for that. So I'm going to aim a little bit further down the left on this one. Hopefully we get a touch of fade on it. It'll just drop around that big tree that we can see on the corner. So let's play this shot and see what happens. So what I've done on here is I've teed up right over on the left hand side of the tee to give me the most room. One of the worst places I can do now is stand over there and try and cut it. So I'm just giving myself loads of space. There's a silver birch that I can see right in the distance up on the left side. I'm going to aim for that, just try and hold the face a fraction open and let the ball try and drift off that. Whether it goes to plan or not, we'll never know until we actually hit it, but that's my thought process. So I'm just going to aim down to that left silver birch that I can see. Nice and relaxed in my setup. I'm actually going to start to change the word relax for calm. I want to feel calm on a golf course. I don't want to feel all tense and nervous. Let's see what happens. It's gone absolutely like a rocket straight at that tree, just cut off the tree. Finished pretty much in the middle of the fairway. Really happy with that shot, considering that's my second drive on the golf course for 6 months. Let's go and find it and see what we've got left. So I've just lasered the distance to the flag, and it's 94 yards. Now I do get asked, should I use a laser or a GPS? I think for ease of use a GPS is really good, but I like to kind of know my yardages, so I'm going to stick with my laser, especially for these shots. So it might be the fact that you have 2 choices rather than 1 and have both, but I've got 94 to the pin. It looks like it's slightly on the front. Bunker on the left hand side as the geese fly over. Bunker on the left hand side, so that's a bit of a no-no. I don't want to go over there. The wind we know is blowing from left to right because it was right to left on the previous hole, which was going the opposite way. I want to make sure that I hit this past the front edge. My sand wedge goes around about 100 yards, so I'm just going to play this one. I don't care if it's a few feet past the hole, but I don't really want to come up short. Feel really calm in my setup, just out here enjoying playing a game of golf. That one's going towards the flag. Quite happy with that. It looks like it's gone a little bit further than the flag, which I would expect to happen because my sand wedge goes 100, but what I'm pleased about that one, it's gone past the front and it would have taken the left bunker out of play even if I had pulled it slightly, so I'm okay with that one. Let's go and see if we can knock a birdie putt in. So this is where my ball finished. I'm about 20 foot past the hole. I forgot that it was a little bit downwind, so the ball carried a bit further. When I'm reading the greens, what I like to do is read it from the side that the ball is going to rather than from the other side. Now if I've got plenty of time, I'll look at it from all directions, but if I'm struggling for time, I'll always trust the read from here to the golf ball rather than the other way round. So it feels to me like this is going to move a touch from left to right. The low point of the green is just near the camera at the front of the green here, so I'm going to trust my instincts, aim a little bit left. I'm probably a little bit rusty with regards to speed because I haven't had any chance to practice on these greens yet. Let's just double check it from here. Yeah, it still feels left to right, so I'm going to aim about a foot to the left just to allow for that. Oh, I really pulled that one as well. So Looked like it almost stayed straight, but that was a terrible putt. I pulled it off to the left. I'm now about 3 foot away. Not happy about that one, if I'm honest, but the speed was good. So let's take some positives out of it. Let's have a quick look from here. So this one now feels like it's going to break just off this side, so I am going to leave the flag in. I'm just going to give my ball a clean, take the muck off it. So I'm just aiming the name of the golf ball actually just on the left edge of the hole, inside the hole. Let's see if we can stroke this one in for another par. That's just dropped in nicely, so that's another par. 2 pars to start my first round of the year. I'll take that. This is a lovely hole here at Coventry. It's the 12th hole. It's 338 yards from where I'm teeing off. Dogleg from right to left, out of bounds down the left, so you can't really cut too much of the corner. Traps down the right, protecting the green on the right down there is a big pond. Now today again, thankfully it's a favouring wind, so the wind is blowing right to left. Where I'm stood right now I can't feel any wind at all, but I know as soon as it gets through this little chute the wind's going to affect it. Now in the distance there's a fountain. So what I'm going to do is aim towards that fountain. That's kind of right edge of the fairway. If the wind just brings it back in to the middle of the fairway, I'll take that one. So not an overly long hole, but a demanding tee shot that requires a commitment, a committed golf swing. So let's play this one and see what happens. So I'm just aiming straight at that fountain. So I'm hitting driver. You could easily hit a different golf club on here, but hey, I'm back playing golf. So simple par 4, we hope. Let's see what happens after this tee shot. So that is a terrible golf swing. Tightened up, hit it very high, hit it left. Got a feeling that's out of bounds. So I'm going to play another one and let's see what happens with this one. So much for getting ahead of yourself. 2 pars and a simple-ish hole. Not looking good at the moment. Anyway, let's see what happens. Let's have another go. Feel really comfortable. Very calm still. That's just a different shot completely. So that started out at the fountain, had a little bit of draw on it, finished perfectly in the middle of the fairway. Now we've got to try and avoid the double bogey, but let's see if I can find my first one. If not, we'll play the second one and see what score we end up with. So as I suspected, after the first tee shot I did lose it. Awful golf shot, bad golf swing, but it doesn't really matter. Second one was much better. Again, I've just lasered this one. I've got 95 to go. Feels fractionally into the wind, so I've got my 100-yard club, my sand wedge. Pins tucked on the right hand side, roughly halfway along, so a crazy shot now would to be right of the flag. Anything a little bit left of it would be absolutely fine, so I'm just going to allow for that. Wind's just whipping around this little corner. Lovely part of this golf course. Let me set myself up properly. Okay. With this wind now, I just feel like it's gusting a touch. Almost get the sensation this could come up a little bit short, but I'm still going to commit to the shot. Let's trust it and see what happens. Just as I suspected, the wind's got that one. Hit it all right actually. It's finished just short of the green. It's climbed up, the wind's hit it, it's just stalled it, it's finished short of the putting surface. Now I've got my hands full to make a double bogey on this one, but let's go and play a little chip shot, see what we can do with it. So as I said, the ball did come up short, about 3 paces short of the green. Pin's halfway along, nothing in front of me, so I'm going to play the simplest shot that I can play, which is a putting stroke with an 8-iron golf club. So this actually feels like it's going to kick slightly right and then drift back to the left. So I'm actually going to aim this relatively straight towards the flag, just make my putting stroke with an 8-iron. The 8-iron will lift it over the fringe, but it'll also get it to run towards the target. So, nice and relaxed. Oh, just missed. Just as I said, it was just going to drift left right at the very end, but there was no real stress on that one because all I'm doing is making a putting stroke. I know that the 8-iron is going to make the ball roll, so let's see if we can knock that in for a double bogey. Next hole is a par 5. We might be able to make one of those shots back. So my ball's finished 2-3 foot just past the hole. Now what I know from the chip shot I played, as it got towards the hole, it drifted slightly this way, so I now know that it's going to come back in the other direction. So I've just lined my golf ball up just inside left edge of the hole. Let's just stroke this one in for a double bogey, move on to the next. So that's unfortunately a double bogey, but hey, that's life. Let's go and play the next hole. So I'm on hole 13 now. It's actually 498 yards, which is a par 5 here at Coventry. On tour, that's probably a par 4 now, but it's a par 5 for us today. I've actually chosen to play off the white tees on this one just because it was closer to me. Trouble down the right, so there's a big bunker down the right in the landing area, so easy to go in that one. And actually down the left that we can't see from here is a big pond, just because I've played here a few times. Pin's pretty much straight down. There's a white marker to the right of the flag, but to the left of the bunker on the right. That's going to be my target. I know the wind is blowing slightly from right to left because of the previous holes that we've played, so I'm just going to aim down towards that flag. And let's see what happens. I think I've got away with that one. It's just turned over a little bit. Slightly stalled my body, felt that I flipped the hands a little bit too much, just turned it over, especially with that right to left wind. Struck it okay, should make par quite easily from there, but let's go and find it and see what happens. So as I said, my ball did finish down the left of this hole on this par 5. Ball slightly above my feet, it's not sat too bad. The good news is about this one, the hole now doglegs from right to left, and with the ball being above my feet, it naturally allows for that right to left shot. My ego says hit rescue club, see how far you can get it down there, but my golfing brain has gone, what's the point in that? Because if I get this wrong, I could go in the trees down the right hand side, because the rescue club would bring those into play, and if I snap hooked it, there's actually a big lake down the left, a big river, and if I go into that, it's out of bounds as well, so I don't want to be going down there. So there's a tree that I can see, there's 2 trees. I'm going to go for the one to the right of it. It's quite in the distance, there's some trolleys down there. I'm going to aim towards that one, allow for the ball to move to right to left, just put me back in play. Should be enough club to get me past that bunker that's down there. All I'm doing, because the ball's slightly above my feet, I'm just going down the grip ever so slightly to allow for that, but other than that, just a normal golf swing. I've absolutely ripped that. That was a really nice golf shot. That's finished bang on line with the tree that I was aiming at. Started a little bit right, drew back to the tree. Should leave me a relatively short shot in. Let's see if we can knock that close and get that one of those shots back. So it turns out I got a little bit lucky on that last shot. I'm not in the bunker, thankfully, but the bunker is literally just here to the side. Again, I've just lasered this one. It's 94 yards again, ironically. Lies okay. Remembering on the last hole, I'm still going in the same direction as the wind on the last one, and I remember hitting a sand wedge and coming up short. So what I've done now is the pin is tucked on the left hand side of the green, just kind of towards the front. Out of bounds left, bunkers down the right. Not really interested in either of those ones. So what I've done now is I've got my pitching wedge, which easily hits at 120 yards. I'm just going to take a little bit off it. That'll help lower the flight, just get it on a better trajectory into this wind. So I'm just going to nudge the ball slightly back in my stance to again allow for a slightly lower ball flight. I don't feel I need to hit this very hard with this club. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can get this one close. Oof. I didn't expect that to carry that quite that far, because I actually slightly mishit that one, but I'm on the green for a good 20-25 foot away, so not the best shot in the world, but I'm easily on there in 3. Let's see what happens with the putt. So this is where my ball has finished. One of the guys that I actually coach is just over there on his one-seater buggy. Hugh, lovely to see you, Hugh. You won't know that I'm here. Again, I've just had a look at this putt from this side, looking back towards it, and it looks like it's going to break slightly from right to left. I'm just going to confirm that when I get to my golf ball. So I'm just giving it a quick clean. Slightly downhill, this putt. Slightly downhill and definitely moving from right to left. So a relatively quick putt actually, this one. This would be easy to whip it a few feet past, so I'm just going to allow for that one. Nice and easy. Oh, I gave it a bit too much credit. Let's have a go. Again, this one should finish slightly right to left. I should really line this one up, but I'm not going to, just for speed's sake. So that one's just dropped in for quite an easy par 5. On to the 14th, tricky hole. Let's see how we get on that one. So I'm on the 14th hole now, actually stroke 1, so the hardest hole on this golf course, 402 yards, dog legs from left to right. So the green is actually over there, but it's protected by a big pond down the right, and there's a bunker up the middle of the fairway. So what I'm going to do, the wind is blowing left to right, I'm going to aim at the bunker, should have enough club to carry that one, and just allow the wind to drift it towards the middle of the fairway. So I'm just kind of aiming up towards that right hand, the middle bunker. Again, feel calm. Don't need to do anything fancy with this one. Let's just hit it and see where it goes. So you may have seen that one. Wasn't the smoothest swing I've ever made. It should have finished on the fairway, so it should be okay. If you walk off this hole with a par 4, you're always a happy bunny. So let's go and find it and see where it is. So I've got to my ball and I'm actually pleasantly surprised. It's only fractionally, in fact it is actually on the fairway, I've just measured this one. I've got 130 yards to go. Tricky green, so the pin is 130 from where I am now, but there's bunkers that kind of sneak into this green a little bit down the left, and this pin is fractionally left of centre. Now the nice thing is the wind is blowing from left to right, so that will help move the ball away from the bunkers down the left. But the slight issue that I have here is some overhanging trees that you may be able to see here. Now they shouldn't come into play if I hit the right shot, but potentially they could. Because I'm downwind, I've now taken my pitching wedge, which normally goes around 120-ish. It can go a bit further if I want it to, but I like to swing within myself. But I feel I've got enough loft on this to lift it over those branches, and because it's downwind, it should carry down there quite nicely. So I'm actually going to aim at the flag and allow the wind to just drift it towards the middle of the green. That's the plan. So I'm just feel like I'm aiming towards the flag, nice and calm. Over the branches, it's actually honing in on the flag. Oh, it's just come up short of the pin, but a nice shot. So pitching wedge, That's probably gone about 125. Let's get up there and see if we can knock that in for a birdie on the stroke one. I'd be really happy with that one. So this is where my golf ball has finished. I've got about 6 paces maybe to the hole. Feels a little bit uphill. Now instinctively I get onto this green and I feel like I want to move the ball from left to right, but there's actually a high bit here and a high bit here. It's almost in a little valley, this one. So what I'm going to do is ignore my instincts and actually going to go straight at the hole. Let's see if we can give this a chance for birdie. Little bit uphill, so I need to make sure I give this enough pace to get there. So I'm going to go relatively straight at the hole. Oh, just a bit left, wasn't it? Not great. Tap in, par 4, stroke 1. We'll take it. That'll do. So that's another hole out of the way. Still 2 over par, unfortunately. Got a long par 3 next. Really good hole, followed by a par 5. So let's go and see what we can do on this par 3. So this is a really strong par 3. It's actually 219 yards straight into the wind today. There's some false bunkers down the right hand side that are just a little bit short of the green, but the nice thing is when you get over that there's a little downslope, so if it lands on the back of that it tends to kick onto the green, and this green moves viciously from right to left once you get down there. Pins at the back, but on the right hand side of the green, so if you do miss the green, it's ideal to be a little bit further to the left of it rather than to the right of it. Wind is blowing into and slightly off the right as the rain just, not raining but just drizzling, so I'm just going to allow for the wind to bring this back. So I'm actually going to aim at the flag. I've got a rescue club here. Let's just try and make a decent golf swing, see what happens. Really is strong, this wind today. Now that one's going right at the flag. Be good. Oh, that's a great golf shot. I'm not quite sure, but it was bang on line. It's just going to finish slightly left of the flag, but that was an absolute crackerjack. I'm really happy with that one. Let's go and find it, see if we can make birdie on this really tough par 3. So as I've just got closer to the green, hopefully you can see my golf ball just to the left of the hole. Really happy with that, almost pin high. Looks like I'll have a little right to left putt. Let's go and see if we can knock it in. So not too far away from the hole, chance for a birdie 2 on this long par 3. Green is sloping very much this way, which can be a bit deceiving. So it's fractionally uphill, but also this ball should move from right to left. Probably quite at the end, as it slows down it might swing a bit more. So my instinct is to go just outside right edge, but I'm going to go at least a cup outside the right edge, I think, just to allow for this slope. Let's see if we can roll this in for a birdie. Oh, just missed, just allowed too much break. So a lovely tap in 3 on a strong par 3. I'm okay with that one. Still 2 over par, 3 holes to go. Par 5 next. Let's see if we can get one of those shots back. So this is a 543 yard par 5. Pretty straight, this one. Bunkers down the right, bunkers down the left, trees down the right, up towards the green. There's a bunker short of the green, but that can easily catch your second shot. I'm slightly downwind and a little bit off the left, and the fairway does slope from left to right. I'm up for giving this one a little bit of a go, so a little bit of a ride. So what I've done now is I've teed my ball up a little bit, so I'm going to try and get this up in the air and get that wind giving it a bit of assist. I'm aiming left of the flag, so I'm aiming slightly down the left to allow for the wind. I'm just going to angle my shoulders slightly upwards just to give a little bit more elevation. Ball's nice and forward in my setup for this particular shot. Let's see if we can give this a little ride, see where it goes. Important thing now is to keep that weight transferring. Nice and relaxed. Here we go. I've buttoned it. Wind's taking it a little bit left. Oh, it's gone miles over their bunkers. That's really happy with that one. I just enjoyed that one. So I should be down there. I've got a chance of knocking this on in two. I'd be quite happy. Sometimes this plays quite along this hole, but that one's gone all right. Let's go and find it. Let's see if we can get it on in two. See if we can get it back to level par with an eagle. So I'm here at my golf ball. I've actually hit that 305 off the tee, so not a bad tee shot for me. I've got 240 left to the flag. Just starting to rain, great. I'm just going to aim down the left a little bit to allow for the left to right wind. I've got a 2 rescue club that I'm going to hit from here. Let's send this down the left. Let's see if we can get this up towards the green. Absolutely ripped it. That's a great golf shot. Go! Go! Oh, just short of the green. I've really hit that pretty good. So 240, that's probably gone about 230. Let's go up there, let's find it. I thought that was going to sneak on the green, but it hasn't. Can we chip it in for an eagle? So unfortunately, the second shot's just finished in the greenside bunker. It must have just bounced in here. Slightly awkward lie. 20 strides to go to the flag. Remember, in the bunker we always set up square rather than open like everybody else has told you to. Set up square. Remember to use the force of nature. What goes up must come down, so we want that nice steep backswing. There's a little lip here, but it doesn't really affect me. I've got my 58-degree wedge. I'm going to commit to this one. First bunker of the day. Make sure you dig in, feel very settled on the shot. Nice and relaxed, up, down and through. I've hit it way too clean, right over the back of the green. Terrible bunker shot. First one for 6 months. Looks like I need a bit more practice. Ooh. So this is where my ball is finished after that terrible bunker shot. Scott is over there raking the bunkers, doing a great job for us. So I've now got about 25-yard shot. So I've got the wrong club, so I'm going to put the ball back in my stance, angle the shaft forward. I'm being a little bit quiet because there's some people on the green right behind me. I should go and get a different golf club, but it's a bit too far to walk over there, so I'm not going to. So I put the ball back, angle the shaft forward, land this on the green. Let's run it up towards that flag. So that's come out pretty good. Go on. Oh, it's a pretty good chip. That's close enough now to knock it in for a 5. Made it a bit hard, that 5, but we'll take it. Let's knock that in and move on to the next. So pretty decent chip shot from there. Just left myself a foot putt. Let's knock that in for a 5. On to the next. That only just snuck in, actually. That was funny. There's Scott behind us. He just wants to give you all a wave. I think he's a little bit camera shy, so you never know. He might have a look at this and give us a comment on the box below. Let's go to the 17th. So this is another really strong par 3 here at Coventry. The 17th hole. Looks pretty straightforward, but the really big Mackenzie in the middle of this green, and this pin is tucked right up on the top layer, and the green goes at a slight angle, so it's not like you're going straight up the green, you're hitting slightly across the green, so it does favour a little draw shot in here. But unfortunately, no, actually that's a lie, the wind is moving right to left, so it is actually going to help. Strong, slightly into the wind. So I'm going to aim this slightly right of the flag. There's a bunker tucked down the left, quite a deep bunker down the left. There's nothing out to the right, but just a really commanding tee shot, this one. I feel like I want to knock this down a bit, so I'm just going to nudge the board back in my stance a little bit. I've got a 5-iron here because of the wind conditions. Let's aim this just right the flag, hopefully with a touch of draw, and move it up towards that back pin position. So absolute lousy golf swing. Very, very unhappy with that one. finished miles right of the green. One of the worst swings that I've made today, but I think probably a little bit intimidated by the reputation of this hole. So that was a bit over the top, dug at it, held the face open, hit an awful golf shot. But anyway, let's go and find it. It's not life and death, is it? Let's go and find it. Let's see if we can make 3, walk off. Then we've got 1 hole to play. Let's see if we can birdie the last to get it back to 1 over par. So this is where my golf ball finished, short of the green, right of the green. Now I've got a really tricky shot. So I've got a mound kicking the ball to the right. I've also got Mackenzie, or a sloped green from here, the pins up on the top. What I've got to do is land this at the bottom of the slope with the right trajectory to get it to run up the slope and slightly to the left towards the flag. Now what I want is enough loft to land the putting surface. I like to land this on a predictable surface. So I've actually chosen a sand wedge. You could potentially use a pitching wedge, but I just feel that that might go a little bit too far. But what I am going to do is de-loft this, because I want this to go a little bit lower trajectory, land and roll. I don't want this to stop too quickly. That's the theory. Let's move these little things out of the way. So I'm going to try and land this on the edge of the green, ball back, hands forward, transfer my weight forward. Let's just try and play a decent golf shot for a change. Go, go, go. Didn't hit it hard enough. Actually landed that almost perfect. Just needed a little bit more oomph to get it up the slope. Tricky putt to hole for par, but we'll take 2 putts, walk off with a bogey. No train crash, but not really the hole that I wanted to play, but let's go and see what happens. So chip shot wasn't perfect. It was nearly good, but obviously not now. Now we've come to our golf ball. Uphill putt, so up quite a steep slope. So this generally will move from right to left when it gets to the top of the hill. How many strides? 8 strides, I would say, to get to the hole. So I'm just going to allow for that one. I need a little bit more speed to make sure we get this up to hole, give it a chance for a par. If not, tap in for walk off. Go, go, go. Stone dead. 3-inch putt just to knock that one in. Easy bogey. We could get upset, but there's no point getting upset because that makes for bad golf swings, leads to too much tension in the body, no calmness, and you're not really going to enjoy your round of golf. So bogey, tough par 3, not a train crash, but you know, ideally we would have liked to have walked off there with a 3. So I'm now 3 over with 1 to play. So last hole for me today, the 18th hole here at Coventry Golf Club, 371 yards, slightly downwind, can be a bit of a naughty hole this one. Trouble down the right. When you're down the right, there's really big trees that block your way out, and also big trouble down the left. But it's my last hole of the day. I'm out here to have fun. I've got my driver, I've teed it up nice and high, we're slightly downwind, so I'm going to aim. There's kind of a big flag at the back there, the clubhouse. Nice dramatic sky up there. So I'm going to aim at the big flag up on the left. Hopefully the wind's going to move this left to right. Give it a little bit of a rip for the last hole for fun. Let's see what happens. Well, would you believe it? A great golf shot. Finish right down the middle of the fairway. That's gone up there quite a long way. Hopefully we haven't got much left into this one. That was a little bit of fun on the last hole. Let's go and find it, see how far we've got left. So last full shot of the day, I've got 73 yards to the green. So that one's gone just over 300, I guess, off the tee, but I did enjoy that one. I'm nicely down the middle of the fairway. I've got my 58-degree wedge. For me, I feel it's a relatively full shot because this one tends to go high and stop really quickly. So I'm just going to play this as normal. Let's see if we can knock this in close, potentially finish the last hole with birdie. Let's see what happens. Struck it good. Going slightly right of the pin. It's okay. Chance for birdie. Be a nice way to finish. So this is where my golf ball has just finished. How many paces am I? About 6-7 paces from the hole. I've had a read from the other side as I was walking around. This definitely breaks from left to right, this putt. A little bit uphill, so it won't be super fast. Can we actually get our first birdie for 2021? So let's aim it just up that left side. Let's get enough club to get there. Would you believe I've left it short? Of all the things to do on the last hole, you don't knock it up far enough. So that's a tap in par 4 for me. Let's just tap that one in for a 4. So unfortunately finished 3 over par. I'm not unhappy with that. First time I played for a long time. I don't get out to practice anywhere near as much as I want to, but I still fully trust in what I'm doing. Now I hope you've enjoyed this round with me. It's just been lovely to come out and play golf again instead of being trapped inside as we all have. So it's just a real pleasure to get out and play. So what if we don't hit some great shots? It doesn't matter, it's not life and death, but it really is enjoyable. Now hopefully you've enjoyed this, and if you'd like to really fully understand what you need to be doing to play your best golf, sign up to propergolfing.com. On there I've got hundreds of videos that will help you fully understand what it is that you need to be doing. And if you like this this video, please subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. And I'd like to say a big thank you to Coventry Golf Club for allowing me to come here and play on their lovely golf course. Thanks for watching. Bye.